All right, hello. Welcome to CSSE 332 Operating Systems for spring of 2020-2021. I hope you have all had a good break and you're as excited as I am to start this class. This is absolutely one of my favorite classes, if not my favorite classes of all time. I think the only thing that would trump this class is a network security class, probably, or maybe they are on equal footings. But I'm really excited about this topic, and I really love working with it. And I hope by the end of the quarter you can feel you can get some of that sense of why this is such a great topic. So before we get to more like material things, let's start by giving you a quick introduction of who I am. My name is Mohammed. I prefer if you call me Mohammed. I'm not a really big fan of titles. It makes me feel old. So if you're comfortable with that, just please call me Mohammed. I was born in Lebanon, and not Lebanon, Indiana. That's the Lebanon is a very small country in the Middle East. I lived most of my life in the capital of that country. It's called Beirut. The image you see on the left-hand side is where I was born, but I lived in Beirut. I did not live on the seaside, but that's the famous waterfront of Beirut. I completed my undergrad and master's in computer engineering from the American University of Beirut back home, and then I moved to the States and got my PhD in computer science at UIUC. My research is basically in network security. Mostly I focus on denial of service attacks, and the reason why I'm excited about operating systems is that a lot of my research has been within the kernel, within the Linux kernel, so I kind of merged the two together. And I also do a lot of work in programmable networking, in software-defined networks, programmable networks, and so on. So at any point in time, if you're interested in networking and doing some research, then please let me know. We can work something out. Outside of work, I do love basketball, but it's been a while since I played. So mostly now I'm just a couch basketball spectator. I do play music. I used to play the drums for several years. You can see the last setup I used before I had to sell it, before I moved to Terre Haute. That was my setup that I used to play. I do a lot of reading in philosophy and mythology. Currently, I'm into Norse and Greek mythology, Japanese myth. So that's mostly where I spend my time, and I do have a hobby for coffee, so I do craft coffee if at some point you want to learn more about that. All right, so enough talking about me, and let's start talking about this class. And this is where I reveal to you the format of this class. What you see here are the results of the in-class or the course format survey that we did over the past week. And you can see that we kind of have a little bit of a skew towards being fully in person, while fully in person and fully flipped have an equal footing. So most likely we're going to be sitting somewhere here, since that's basically where the majority is. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So in order to do that, I was thinking about the best way to kind of figure this out, to kind of tailor the course to satisfy as much people as we can. It happened that I'm reading the German philosopher Hegel at that point, and he has this term that calls sublimation. And it can mean a lot of things, but basically it means that if you have something and its opposite, you kind of transcend those two, you kind of merge them, but you cancel them in a sense. He talks a lot about contradictions, but that's basically the one sentence not accurate definition of sublimation. So I thought maybe we could do something like that we call the sublime hybrid format. What's that going to demand from you to do is I'm going to release for you videos for every week. Hopefully I'll have those by a week in advance, max by the before the week starts, so you can kind of jump ahead and start doing the work before that. We have typically 3 lectures that we focus on content and 1 lab where we talk about the assignment and we spend time working on that. You have 2 assignments per week, 1 that's due on Monday and 1 that's going to be due on Thursday at the end of the day. In addition, each lecture is coupled with an activity where you have to apply what we're talking about, and that's basically something that is going to be crucial for you to really understand what's going on in this class, and it's a lot of fun at the same time. And you submit that activity usually on the lecture day at midnight, so you have even if class time is over at like 2 or 3 p.m., you can still do the activity and complete it until the end of the day. I will not, unless you kind of talk to me and you're going through some circumstances that we can work out together, I will not accept late submissions on the activities, and I'll talk about why. I'll talk about why later on. So what I will provide for you, or what we will do together in class. So I would like you to still come to class, even though we have videos. At the start of every class, we will do either a short demo that was not included in the videos, or we'll have an open-ended discussion question, or maybe some more questions that will help you solidify your knowledge of this class. And that's going to be about 10 minutes. And then we're going to switch to having you do some work time where I'm available to answer the questions, or if you need help with your assignment, or if anything comes up, then I can directly work with you and help you do it. So why should you come to class if the videos is available? So the main point is that you have 1 hour of every day except for Wednesdays that's reserved and sacred for CSSE 332. And I'm going to tell you from now, CSSE 32 is a heavy course. It's going to require a lot of work and a lot of programming, and the difference is that you're doing most of this programming, or all of this programming, in C, and our project in these 2 sections, sections 3 and 4, is going to be in the kernel, which is going to be even like a different programming paradigm. So it's going to take you a lot of work, and unless you dedicate time for the operating systems class, you're probably not going to be comfortable, or you're not going to make it in this class. So that's why I would like you to come to class, so you could reserve that time for just working on the operating systems class. If you're not caught up to the videos, you catch up to the videos. If you watch the videos, you can start working on the assignments and get help as soon as possible. And this is mostly what I want to focus on. In this class, if you have a question, if you're stuck on something and you don't ask for help, you're going to be in trouble. And this is my job to be available for you to help you. So please don't shy away from asking questions and getting in touch with me so you can get help on your assignments. If you feel stuck, if you have questions, if there's something that's not clear, if you're kind of like you need just another pair of eyes to look at your code, feel free to reach out to me, and we can get that. Now, why are we calling this a Sublime hybrid format? Is I want to try to keep all the videos that I give you between 30 minutes and 40 minutes, and they will be split up into short videos. So like you have 5-10 minutes and 2 or 3 of those videos. So the goal is to keep that within half an hour to 40 minutes, and then in class we'll do about 5 to 10 minutes of in-class demos or some discussion. So overall that should give you about 45 minutes of you listening to me talking. So in a sense, we're mimicking what you'd normally do in a session where you have 45 minutes of lecture time plus activity time. So I hope that we can maintain that, and I'll do my best to actually keep that going throughout. So not do videos that are like 3 hours long, because I know it's tempting because it's a video. We kind of just go on and ramble and talk a lot. So I'll try to keep things short and not exceed the 45 minutes that we have allocated for this class. What this allows us to do in class is that every day, except for Wednesday, we have dedicated 40 minutes of live help and questions and answers for you. I'll be there. I'll be walking around, checking in on you, seeing what you're doing, and answering any questions that you have. about the material itself or about the assignments, and then later on about the exams and preparing for the exams and so on. If you need help outside of class, again, there is a link on the class website for you to schedule a meeting with me, so you can get on my calendar and we can talk for 15-30 minutes. You can message me on Teams. Generally, I'm pretty responsive unless I'm in a meeting or unless it's like late at night where I'm not on my phone or my laptop. And you can also email me. Probably email is going to be a little bit slower than Teams because I get a lot of emails every day, and it's kind of sometimes things get lost. So if preferably try to catch me through Teams, or just simply get on my calendar and we can talk. Okay, so that's what I hope is in a sense what the Sublime hybrid format is going to be. It's going to try to take the best of what is in person, which is the one-on-one interaction, us getting to know each other, especially that if we go fully online, I'm not going to be able to see you. Most of you are going to turn off their cameras and just go sleep or do other things. That's what I would do if I was doing online classes. So it just establishes this connection between us, so we can I can be available for you, and you'd feel comfortable coming in and ask for help and ask questions and learn, which is eventually what we want to do in this class. And at the same time, if you want to review some material, if you want to go back and revisit a concept, you can always go back to the video and visit that. So given that we saw that we kind of had an equal number of people going for fully in person, which is my favorite way of teaching, or fully online, which is my least favorite way of teaching, I would prefer not to do online. And if you know who this person is and what this code means, then probably I'm just going to give you an A in this class. So basically, why I do not want to go fully online. So first of all, there are logistic reasons that since we're on banner listed as an in-person class, so we have to be in person, I think, for at least 60% of the time. So we're kind of obliged by the university to do have at least a couple of sessions every week. Putting that aside, even if we were able to go online, why I would still prefer not to do fully online. I think that what makes Rose really special, and why I chose to actually come to Rose, is this one-on-one connection that we can build between us. So I could feel more comfortable talking to you and delivering what I have to do to lecture and teach, and for you to feel comfortable in taking in the information, asking questions. That's the most important thing that I want you to do, to ask questions, as many as you can. If you get me like super tired, that's what I want to see. Like I want to see you asking a lot of questions, especially in this class that I love. So I love answering questions about these topics. So that's what I want you to do. And if we go fully online, we kind of lose that aspect. Another thing that I like to do is I generally want to get to know each and every one of you, and I ideally want to be able to identify you if I see you somewhere else. I don't know how possible that is. I've been struggling with that with the masks, but ideally I would like to be able to do that, and that allows us to kind of have a better relationship when and this it's like in a sense. I think we have a professor here in the department that says that learning is not a spectator sport. So you just don't sit back, you have to kind of engage with it, and I think being at least somehow in person is going to help us engage more in this class. So I hope I have convinced you that we should not go fully online, and if you're not convinced, then you just gotta do it because I said so. All right, so quickly, I just wanted eventually to do a walkthrough of our class website. So let's quickly jump into that, so I can tell you what's going on. So this is the homepage. It's gonna load a little bit. Okay, so basically, you're not gonna go here a lot. Just if you want to link to the syllabus, the official one where you see all the boring words. The unofficial syllabus is me trying to sell you this class. So this is where you want to go if you want to find out, like, oh, what are we going to do in this class. Most importantly is the schedule, which we're going to jump into now. But also you can actually clone the repo that contains all of the material for this class, and I'll be adding things to it as we progress through the quarter. So you'd have all of the source code, all of the sample exams, and all of that just in one location, and you'll get the assignments in there. So that's one way to do it, but please make sure that you do not fork the repo. You can actually clone it, and then we have instructions here for you to set up a private repo to push your solutions to if you want to keep copies of those. So let's quickly jump into the schedule and see what we have there. You can see that I already populated about the first week and a half. I'm still adding on the material, so hopefully you'll see all of those tomorrow. But basically I just wanted to point you to seeing all of the deadlines for your assignments. So we have something due on Thursday, which is basically just installing Linux on your machine. We have a pointer refresher in C that's going to be due on Friday, and you're going to submit those on Moodle. If you click on the pointer practice, it's going to take you to the page that explains what you should be doing. For now, there's two ways to do this. You can actually, if you have a Linux, or if you know your way around having a Linux terminal running, just like this one, for example, where you can see the source code, edit it, and do stuff with it, that's great. You can go ahead and get started. To make it easier for you, we have made it available in a web environment that allows you to run C. So you could actually just go ahead and do it on this website. You have an kind of fully fledged IDE there, and then you download the source code and you submit it on Moodle, and you're gonna have the link for that on the schedule page. And if you go to our Moodle page, you're gonna see those there as well, along with their deadlines on the calendar and so on. So that's all of the information, again, kind of repeated here, and this is the link for you to get on my calendar if you want to do so. Submission boxes, and again, through the website, if you scroll all the way down, you have a link to my Calendly account if you want to get on my calendar as well. This will give you about a 30-minute spot. You don't have to book the entire you don't have to stay the entire 30 minutes. If you just need 5 minutes, you can also get a 30-minute slot and just chat or leave whenever you're done. We can meet either in person or on Teams. That's totally up to you. I think by default you'll get a Teams link from Calendly when you do that. This is quickly what our Git repo looks like. I'm constantly updating that. So basically, if you go to the homework session folder, you're gonna see all of our homeworks in there and so on. So that's pretty much it for our intro video. I know this has been going on for long. I promise you the material things, when we start talking about the material, it's not going to be this long. This is just because there's nothing like super heavy we're talking, and you could easily skip through this and play that 2x speed or so on. All right, so I look forward to working with you all, and I hope to see you on Thursday, and I hope we're going to have a great quarter together. All right, over and out.